Countess Naravan Dracovin, Lord and Emperor of the Dracovin Empire, and welcome. It is time to continue my discussion on the SHADOWRUN role-playing game system. Where we last left off, we were diving into security systems, because they are one of the major things you will face in your attempts to be a runner. So we were talking about some more technical-based security. Biometric scanners. Basically, a biometric scanner takes a bit of information about a subject, some kind of print, and then it will compare that print that it has on file to the print of a person attempting to pass the scanner itself. So I, as a person passing the scanner, will share my print with it. It will check that against a database of prints it has of authorized users. If you're not authorized, the alarm sounds. Now, because this database was probably linked to more than one unit, more than likely it will be remotely accessing this information, whether through wired or wireless. It will be on a server far away from it. This makes it more difficult to hack in directly to the scanner itself. You're going to have to hack into the database, which is more secured. Even in that point in time, should you insert your information of authorizing you to be a user to pass this biometrics, you then have to worry about a couple of things. Records and logs that may exist as part of this may be there. So you can see that biometrics are on a whole very difficult to overcome, but not impossible. Now, one type of biometrics is the print scanner. When we talk about prints, we're meaning things like handprints or fingerprints. These specifically scan these, compare them. Alternately, you can use a print glove and basically can be programmed with specific prints on it that you can then put onto a thing, have it scan it, use that. You're going to use the device's rating against the glove's rating and basically have an opposed test to see if you've overcome it and tricked it into thinking it's the proper print. If it's a retinal scanner getting a retinal print, then you're going to use you can just use your normal eye, or you could use a cyber eye, in which case the cyber eye you can actually program with someone else's retina. And it's the same thing as tricking with the print scanner, except using a cyber eye. Again, just the same as with the print scanner, you can use that's rating, your cyber eye's rating, versus the device's rating to find out if you overcome it and trick it into thinking that you're the correct person. Now, a voice recognition system will effectively do that, just that. Listen to a voice, more than likely saying a certain phrase, and then recognize them, allow access. If the wrong phrase, wrong voice is heard, doesn't allow it. Now, very easily with any of these, the easiest way of basically overcoming them, force an authorized user to use the scanner for you and activate it. In this case, this also works with the voice scanner, the print scanner, any of these. If you don't want to do that route, you can, for the voice scanner, use voice modulator cyberware. Once again, you're going to use using your device's rating against its rating itself to try to trick it into thinking you are the correct voice. A breath cellular DNA scanner scans someone's cells for DNA and registers their DNA against a database that they have. Now, you could overcome this with a sample of DNA. You're going to need a special enzyme solution to have grown it in within a chemistry shop, effectively prepping it ahead of time. And it is a chemistry plus logic extended test with a time of 1 hour. Got to get 5 successes in order to create the special enzyme bath in which to place the DNA that you're going to be scanning. So there is a level of work to it, but you could overcome this if you really wanted to by getting a DNA sample of someone that, well, would be using their DNA in this case. Now, facial recognition uses lasers or ultrasound or various sensors to map someone's face. And if they have the incorrect face, again, we're going off on the alarms. Or this one is the least intrusive, but it is also the least accurate. The fact is that you could use something like a combination of prosthetic makeup, maybe some biosculpting, to attempt to trick this system. You would roll your disguise plus infiltration against the device's rating. If you've tricked it, hey, guess what? You made it think that you've got the correct face. Now, there are a number of automated systems which, when they're triggered, set off an alarm and go into fighting mode, or go activate and set off an alarm. Auto turrets are actually tiny little drones with weapons mounted to them that are normally placed in a certain area. Either they are placed in a fixed location where they have a 180-degree arc. Some of them can be placed on sort of tracks that they'll move around, kind of get their scanning of an area. But these are, in fact, drones. They're drones that will have autosofts, basically targeting software, and the ability to scan an area. They're programmed with everything they need to recognize an enemy and to probably kill an enemy. An alarm will go off in association with it once it is activated. Now there is also containment systems. A containment system sounds a lot like what it does. Contains something. In this case, contains intruders. Windows will close. Shutters and bars may come down in front of them. Doors will close and lock. Again, bars may come in front of those. Special security walls may activate that will cut off areas. Laser mazes and grids could activate in order to try to keep these people contained within an area and moving to the least of the degree. It's effectively trying to cut off an intruder and seal them in an area, seal them in a place where they cannot be accessed until security gets there to either deal with or capture them at a later point in time. But that's it for today. I dove into security a little bit more. First, I talked about scanners, biometric scanners to be precise, which there are a lot of different times. Fingerprints, handprints, eyes, sometimes veins, your voice, your face, your DNA. All of these are things that can be scanned. Many of them can be fairly, I wouldn't say easily tricked, but tricked. There are many of the prints, hand, finger, eyes, they can be tricked through cyberware. Voice, another cyberware. DNA, you can have a sample of it. Even facial, you can have prosthetics. So they can be fooled. But it's going to take you having specialized tools and the materials prepped ahead of time to do it. Hacking on the fly, difficult, and you're more than likely going to leave some kind of fingerprint behind with that. Just overcoming them? Well, again, you might have to overcome their hardware, which could be done, but it's difficult. Or just brute force and not worry about the alarm. All of these are kind of options of things you can do once you face this type of scanner, the biometrics, that will be blocking your way into an area. Then I talked about some automated security systems. Turret drones. Because guess what? There might be some weapons in there that will fire on you and kill you. And of course, containment matters, which will seal you away in a box until security can come to shoot you, kill you, or capture you. Hard to say. In the next episode, we're going to go over the rest of the automated security, talk about magical security, and maybe move into the matrix security just a little bit. But if you have any questions, comments, anything you want to say, anything you think I left out, please just leave in the comments below. Please like, share, and subscribe. It shows support for the channel, the empire, the work I do. If you want to show some extra support, you can always check out my Patreon, link in the description below. There's some great rewards there. Helps to grow and improve both the channel and the empire. But regardless, until the next time, I bid you farewell.